Hey guys, I'm gonna keep this short, but if you aren't already aware, I started a GoFundMe. Why am I doing this now? What could I possibly need money for? I'd like to be able to pay my actors. I'd also like an easier time editing. But in order to do that, I need your help. The link will be down in the description below. I'll be running this ad for a little while. And if you can't donate, I would greatly appreciate just you sharing it with people. Get the word out there. Let's make this the best horror podcast on the internet. Thanks. You can really talk to the dead? Yes, I am able to communicate with the other side. It's my wife. Can you talk to my wife? I can certainly try. Yes, I am establishing a connection. It seems your wife has an important message for you. What is it? She wants you to know that Anchor.fm is the easiest way to make a podcast. What? Anchor has all the tools that you need to get started. You can record directly in the app, monetize your podcast through ads. It even distributes to multiple listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. Are you being serious right now? It's everything you need in one place, and best of all, Anchor is completely free. This has to be a joke, right? I'm losing the connection. She has one last thing to say. Download the Anchor app or go to Anchor.fm to get started. Yeah, I'm gonna want my money back. That's probably fair.
This podcast contains subject matter that may be disturbing to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
For imprints one.
It's time to open the door in your mind. Sit back and listen to true horror. But be careful what you allow in. Because it's time to go through the fog. This week's story is Notice, Please Keep the Door Locked. Posted by user ThatOtherDude1817 to r/short scary stories. Notice, please keep the door locked. It was right there, on the door to my room. Being on vacation, I had obviously managed to get the best hotel I could find, let alone afford. The room had a comfy bed, a spacious closet, and even a functioning TV, which was especially rare for a hotel. They didn't give many rules for my stay. Just don't break anything in the room, don't draw on the ceiling, and respect the few other guests I saw there. It was all pretty common courtesy, and especially locking your door, right? The door was especially tough to budge. It took me at least 10 seconds each time to undo the chain, unlock the top lock, and actually open the door. It made it tempting to keep it unlocked, but for some reason I had a feeling it was better secured. So, although annoyed, I decided to keep every lock on while I was in the room. One night, I thought I heard tapping at the window. I ignored it for a while. I was on the 15th floor, so what could it possibly be? But the tapping got louder and faster after some time, so I finally went to the curtain and peeped out. All I saw was a tree branch tapping against the window in the wind. The next night, I heard noises outside. The door was locked, so whatever it was didn't bother me, but then I kept hearing the noise. Grunting. Coming from something human sounding, the cracking of wood and small bangs. The door was locked, but my curiosity wasn't. So I looked outside the people in slight fear. All I saw was a man, still dressed in his pajamas, trying to guard snacks outside of a vending machine, craning their neck to look up. It was confusing. Why would I need to lock the door? Just gave more of an inconvenience than anything, didn't it? It was more tempting to leave it unlocked or just leave the chain. The lock proved as just an annoyance. But I left the door locked anyway, just in case. It happened late at night. I heard a crack, then another, then another. I looked up from my peaceful sleep to find the source of the noise. I assumed the noise would have been from somewhere outside the room, but it wasn't. It was inside, with me. The ceiling cracked open, and the most hideous thing I'd ever seen practically poured into the room. As it screeched, extending tendrils to grab me, I jumped out of my bed and ran to the door. I tried to open the door, but it was locked. The being stood tall behind me. It started to charge in my direction, opening a gaping maw. Screaming, I scrambled to unlock the door and run far away and escape certain death. The lock would have taken me 10 seconds to unlock. It only needed 4. Through the Fog is recorded and edited by Haptic. Produced by Flyover State Park and Kevin Caravan. All stories are recorded with the original author's permission or released under a Creative Commons Share-alike license. For more episodes, visit throughthefogcast.com or follow fog_cast on Twitter. Links to both are in the show notes. You can support the show by visiting buymeacoffee.com/throughthefog or simply by rating and reviewing on your podcatcher of choice. It's the simplest way to support independent shows like these. Whatever you decide to do, though, thank you for listening, and talk to you next week.
This is Flyover State Park. You are clear to land.